Okay, so Mr. Beast has a bit of a shady history with crypto. Well, for those who are not familiar with this case, let's just say Mr. Beast has had a slew, I mean like a slew of different allegations against him, where he has been, conducted of illegal lotteries. There has been, employees that have been, convicted of diddling kids. There has been the whole lunchly stuff, which I really haven't kept up with, but the little bit that I've seen, there was mold in some of the lunches, which is disgusting. And there's been some people who have been avidly against him, such as somebody by the name of Rosanna Pansino, who was a competitor. And there's been his ex-employee Dogpack 404, who has been very much pushing out the Mr. Beast investigations, or at least been pushing out a lot of information about Mr. Beast. And of course, if you really want to catch up on these videos or on this topic, I recommend you checking out these type of videos with these thumbnails. They're all roughly the same, but they should give you a gist of what's going on. So, and before we get into the case at hand, I'm going to make this very clear. These are all allegations, and not everyone is innocent until proven guilty. So I beg of you to come to your own conclusion at the end of this video. We're just going to look at what is presented, and then we're going to go from there. Capiche? Let's get into it. So to start off with, we have here, it says, in this investigation, it says, Mr. Beast, one of the most popular YouTubers with over 320 million subscribers across his main and side channels, has recently faced public scrutiny over various controversies. Allegations have emerged, including claims of faked videos, running illegal lotteries, and employees with questionable track records. In addition, Mr. Beast's involvement in cryptocurrency has come under fire, with YouTubers like Rosanna Pansino and Dogpack404 touching on the subject. However, their investigations only skimmed the surface of Mr. Beast's crypto activities. Okay, so it looks like here that this is a very detailed document or detailed investigation into into what Mr. Beast has exactly been putting his money into. So we're really going to have to dig into the nitty gritty of that. And so a team of researchers has conducted a more detailed analysis uncovering connections to over 50 cryptocurrency wallets linked to Mr. Beast. Their findings suggest a long history of insider trading, misleading investors, and using his influence to promote tokens only to later dump them on the market. This document delves into the various tokens associated with these allegations and the insider trading claims, starting with identifying the wallets tied to Mr. Beast. So, his wallets were traced using Arkham. Unfortunately, it's not Arkham Asylum, though a lot of people belong in there. And so, looking at this first trace we have, it's by the name of Angel Face Peanut. So if we look at the image here, it's rather big, and I'm not really going to explain how this works, well, even though it's pretty self-explanatory. But the gist of it is that it shows each wallet that is tied to Mr. Beast, and as we're going to look into later. And so each of these are connected to something else and where he's moving his money around. So generally speaking, when you have a crypto wallet, it has an address, okay? In this case here, they actually found his address, it's just OX9E. Not going to read the rest of that. And so that wallet is traced to other wallets where it's being shown to spread around. And of course, it is on something called the blockchain, which the blockchain is essentially, every time there's a transaction you do in crypto, it's on the blockchain. It's a bit of a pain to navigate, but that's the gist of it here. And so actually, inside this first trace, there's actually someone who added to it by the name of Hunter. So Hunter here even added more crypto wallets that are tied to Mr. Beast. So this is not just some simple people just got together and, slap something together. This is somewhere people actually dug into the blockchain. They looked into every single wallet that is tied to this, every single transfer. And they said, hey, why don't we go and look into this? Because this is rather extensive. So, allegedly, Mr. Beast has been involved in some very suspicious activity when it comes to his crypto. So, yeah. So, let's talk a little bit about NFTs. So, when it comes to his NFTs, there's actually a bit of a clip here that actually shows about how Mr. Beast acquired his stuff from like CryptoPunks and VFriends. So we're going to take a look at that and see what's up with going on here. It's from a clip from Impulsive. So that is Logan Paul's podcast, as some of you don't know. And so here he is talking about it. So let's look at it.
this, but I also, so me and Logan both bought punks. You guys have probably seen on his Twitter that he bought a bunch of crypto punks at the same time, right?
Yep.
When Gary pulled us in that call.
Yep.
So have you ever told that story?
No.
Gary V, it's like fucking 11 p.m. just out of nowhere, just calls me and he's like, yo, I got like 30 people to call, hop in. I'm like, I don't care. He's like, it'll be the best decision of your life. Just get in. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And so I just joined the call and I just see like Logan and I don't even know these other people. I don't want to put them on blast.
Every heavy hitter you can imagine who's worth $1 billion was on this one call, and Gary V is in the little corner, the little square. He's going, CryptoPunks. It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be the next Facebook. Where all of us were like, okay,
Everyone's
Gary.
judging. I'm texting Logan. And I'm like,
is
Gary lost
this
his mind.
legit? Bro, all of us were like, yo, Gary's nuts. Yo, Gary was right again.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
We got to keep the story going. So there's like all these like very successful people in this call. And Gary's just like, everyone shut the fuck up. Here's what you're going to do, and you're going to do it right now. You're all going to buy a bunch of CryptoPunks. And we're all just like, he's like, who here owns one? And like one guy raised his hand, and it's because Gary bullied him into buying it the day before. And we're all just like, are you sure, Gary? And we're asking questions, and he's like, just buy it. I was just so pulled by his like conviction that I bought a bunch.
Wait.
Yeah, I bought quite a few.
Now, if you listen to the full clip, it's about 5 minutes. It kind of sounds like textbook rug pulling, but that's besides the point. So here what we have in this document here, or on this little stuff, is that, so one wallet goes by the tag of OX364. Now, I decided to take a look into this wallet, so I decided to look up the stuff with CryptoPunks and VFriends. So they actually have a picture here, but I decided to just take a look myself, just in case, stuff lines up. And what do you know? If you look at it, you find VFriends under here and multiple transactions. And guess what? Yeah, so allegedly, he has been doing this. Now, what they actually further go and say here is that the most common are Gemini and Binance. So these are places where you can transfer your money. So his Binance account has been seen to transfer 13 million, and the previous owner of OX360 are funded by Binance and then send 200 Ethereum. Okay. Now, although many of Mr.Beast's wallets connect with solid inflows sent from one another, a strong piece of evidence that connects them to Mr.Beast is the shared deposit address. To elaborate further, when you want to deposit funds to an exchange, the exchange creates a deposit address that tends to be reused. When we look at Mr.Beast's network of wallets, most of them share the same deposit of address OXD62. This means that when Mr.Beast wants to send funds to his Gemini exchange, he uses an address sent by Gemini OXD62, and here we see several Mr.Beast affiliated wallets also sent to that same address. Okay, so since we're already familiar with exactly how this works, I'm just going to show you the pictures up ahead of how everything is interconnected. So that's where we are with this. So overall, so he tends to move his money around, as everybody with money tends to do. So, allegedly he does all this stuff. So that's what people tend to do. So that's where we are with that. So now we're going to look at SuperVerse, or formerly known as Superfan. So at the beginning of this document, it says here, the first project we have in the list of project farms is Superfarm, now called SuperVerse. SuperVerse was a cryptocurrency token that had many promises, from making an NFT marketplace to integrating with games to create a gaming economy, promises to deliver games such as Pizza Heroes and Imposters, two games that were stuck in endlessly in development. SuperVerse was heavily pushed by individuals such as Elio Trades, a YouTube crypto marketer with a shady history of pushing crypto tokens to his fans to later dump. Alex Becker also pushed Super, mentioning it in his videos. Big influencers such as MrBeast, KSI, Laserbeam pushed the token to their fans. And on-chain activity shows profits of upwards of $10 million for MrBeast, KSI, and Laserbeam. Now, before we go into anything, if you ever seen people who run NFT events, they tend to be a disaster all around. I mean, have you seen how NFT parties go? I mean, people literally got like UV rays into their skin. So I wouldn't really use NFTs as a metric per se. I visited emergency hospital and eye clinic and spent there a total of 6 hours. Got diagnosed with photokeratitis over both eyes, accident related, with prescribed steroid eye drops and eye lubricants. And I'm not actually going to read the rest of this because this is really long. And here the person actually shows their receipt. And so this shows you that whenever events are handled very incompetently, there's some serious not side effects, I mean consequences. There's some serious consequences that happen when you have events that are hosted in this manner. Especially when you cheap out. You actually cannot cheap out on events, because when you cheap out on events, you're actually hurting more people and your attendees more than you are saving money. And an ironic twist, the less you spend, the more you're gonna probably end up spending in the long run. They're not the most intelligent people. But anyways, so one video I want to point to you guys is that when it comes to someone by the name of like LDO Trades, there was actually someone by the name of Unapologetic Rebel who actually showed the DMs that go into these different people. So it's not just simply, you know, people just going in and out and be like, okay, this just happened. No, this shows the different people who were associated with this project. So if we look at some of these tweets that I have up here, our first tweet here says, there's a gem sitting there on the market at eye-watering prices set to explode during DeFi Summer 2.0. We'll be covering on a video. Yes, I've talked about it before. And here you have Mr.Beast saying super. And just for the record, I actually went to these tweets that they've linked and I actually screenshot it with my own Twitter account. So these are roughly real. Okay, as far as we know, unless someone's impersonating him and has the blue check mark and that many followers, but I digress. And now, the next tweet I have here is that under the laser, he has the eyes that are looking, the eye emoji, when it looks about something about a deleted tweet about SuperVerse. And in case you were wondering, where is KSI in all of this? Well, it turns out that KSI had launched his own crypto, and it shows here that 2 NFT coins I'm very bullish on, Super and ERN. Any other NFTs I should look at? So you can see here that KSI actually has a history of promoting crypto to his fans and it going absolutely terrible. And seeing that Mr.Beast is associating with this, it's not looking good for him either. So, you know, it is what it is. And now, before we even go into anything else, there is something I want to point you to, and that is his on-chain history. So here, we have multiple pictures showing different traces, and by the way, Hunter was the one who also provided this image, or at least showed the connection between them. So the summary goes as this. MrBeast wallet receives an initial batch of 1 million super tokens on his Wine wallet OX9E6. This wallet distributes supply to a side wallet OX4F7, this wallet being a designated wallet to farm in small increments over the period of March to June 2021. Over time, MrBeast keeps receiving super supply, which he distributes to 3 wallets. The main wallet being his Bobby Digital, his OX2CO wallet, which was farmed across August to October 2021, and where supply was transferred to OXED3 to farm across a smaller period of time. And lastly, to OX949, which dumped 80k worth in August 2024. In total, MrBeast profited a total of $7.5 million from his initial 100k investment. So, to give an idea of how insane that is, imagine you give $1 and you get like, I don't even know, like $7,000 if you just invest like $1. And mind you, 100k to MrBeast is like pennies, okay? That's literally like no amount of money to him. So you can imagine him putting that little bit amount and getting that much of a payoff. What does this sound like to you? It does kind of sound like a pump and dump. That's what happens with a lot of different of these coins that are started. And so, even so, they also give different graphs. So, graph number 1 here shows exactly when he, had his stuff and when he dumped all of his coins. And the second graph also shows that as well. Around September, he dumped all of his coins. And then the third graph here also shows in September as well how much he dropped. So when you have these numbers that they have on here from the different wallets, he made, and I quote, $11,447,453.96. So this was just an investment of 100k with some other stuff added in there, and then he got $11 million in total. Well, yeah, about 11 million. If that doesn't tell you that this guy made bank, and that it's not looking the greatest, yeah, that's just putting it lightly. So overall, it's a little telling, but until a formal investigation happens, there's not much to say. But with what the blockchain will give you and what these graphs are giving us, yeah, it's still not looking good for him. Just saying. But either way, $11 million is kind of insane because he doesn't even need that. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked. Eternity Chain launched in 2021 and started as a platform dedicated to verifying the authenticity of NFTs, offering a secure marketplace for trading digital collectibles. It quickly gained attention through exclusive collections endorsed by celebrities like Muhammad Ali and Pele. Now, if it sounds a bit off that Muhammad Ali and Pele were in a NFT project, yeah, if it's a bit off, Muhammad Ali died in 2016 and Pele died in 2022. So they're basically saying, because this launched in 2021, Pele endorsed this a year before he died, and Muhammad Ali somehow endorsed this coin before it even came out. Make it make sense. So, yeah. I don't know how a dead man can contribute to a coin, or an NFT project, but whatever. So this project was promoted by Karush AK, known for his involvement with Soulstarter and CryptoRand, which is known for running a $200 per month paid group and his venture capital activities. And so I decided to look into what Soulstarter was, but I couldn't get a single thing on it, and apparently it got rebranded to a different coin. But as you're looking on the screen right now, there's literally like nothing on it. Like there's literally nothing on it. So I'm looking at this and I'm just like, what is going on here? I can't find nothing. And this coin's value is also in the dumps, as with every single project that happens when it starts. So, anyways, point is, anytime you see a crypto project, it's going to bomb. I don't care who runs it. I don't care how many people, how many celebrities are in on it. It always crashes, okay? Just look at FTX. That shit went to the gutter. Though, that one I could kind of see from a mile away coming, but regardless. Yeah, so, and that one had a lot of people in on it too, so, yeah. And so here are some tweets that they also showed where it kind of talked about here, Karush is talking, say, yes, it will, talking about the whole, Eternity Chain. Sorry, my voice. And then here, CryptoRand says, this is going to be fire. And unfortunately, I really couldn't find these, which is kind of a little annoying, but here's what it is. And who's this? Mr.Beast. When it was under this tweet, and he says, this one will be hype. I'm sorry, this one will be hype? I don't think that's not a regular tweet now, is it? And of course, Mr.Beast brand was also featured on the ERN. So this is not just something where this came out of left field. This man literally said this is going to be hype. And now I already have my grasp with this NFT project, but this is not really this isn't a personal piece. I'm just saying, like, very telling. Very telling. And of course, here, there's also one more tweet where Mr.Beast apparently entered a Twitter space where it says, big breaking, Eternity Chain confirmed to be working on a project with Mr.Beast. And it shows the @ and the spaces or whatever. So, as you can see again, allegedly, he has been involved in some very shady projects, which is beyond me. But anyways. So, now we're going to look at the on-chain history with this particular coin. And so it says here, Mr.Beast receives a large batch of tokens from the ERN presale and then accumulates some more supply. He transfers around half of his ERN tokens to OX2EB7, then transfers the remaining supply to OX9B00. These two wallets dump their supply shortly after, returning a combined $1,835,033 after 5 months. Mr.Beast receives his next allocation of tokens and sells his tokens on the market, returning him to $2,976,277. Several months later, Mr.Beast receives a smaller unlock and holds. So, looking at this trace again, you can see where exactly this money is going, and you're seeing exactly where it starts. So he has Ethernity going to this wallet, which is the OX9, which we mentioned at the beginning of the video. And now we're seeing where it's going to other parts of these other wallets. So looking at this, it's not exactly looking the greatest for him. And so we're literally seeing classic pump and dump nature, and we're seeing some classic, shifting money around. But this is typical rich stuff anyways. So it's not like we're new to this. So looking at a more detailed analysis, look at his first trade. So, and around May 4th? Mr.Beast transfers 43K of his, Eternity Eternal to a side wallet of OX9B00, which is worth about 1.06 million. at the time. And then, so similar to his other wallets, he sells it within a day, profiting $977,000, $971.05. Looking at his next trade, you see Mr. Beast's wallet is allocated 181.8k ERN tokens, which is worth 2.04 million. And then Mr. Beast's main wallet, OX9E6, then sells all of that for a returning 2,976,277. And look at the last trade that he has. Here it says his main wallet has 554.5k ERN, which is worth about 117,000. And then Mr. Beast transfers that to his new wallet, which he still holds, but he didn't sell it. So if you subtract this from the buys from the beginning and across two wallets, he made a net profit of $4,649,337.96. So he is clearly making so much money off of these, and it's just like every single person who ever starts a crypto, or at least participates in this stuff, it's just these are mostly scams where it's just, oh, I have this cool coin or this new project, put money into it, then they know exactly when to drop it. You tell me. So yeah, this rabbit hole gets only more insane. And by the way, this document is very extensive, so I recommend that you would look at it yourselves, because there's a lot that I cannot cover in one video. I'm just going to the biggest project that have interested me the most, but I really recommend you check it out, and it'll be linked in the description below. But yeah. All right, on to this next project, which arguably is probably the one that kind of irks me a bit, like personally, but anyways, here we go. Okay, so this project here is called XCAD, and now XCAD is another token with a shady backstory, with JMX, the previous owner who was implicated in the Save the Kids crypto scam, where influencers peddled a token in for charity only to dump their holdings after. JMX launched XCAD network and used the rebranding of KSI and Mr.Beast to market their crypto coin. Now, Save the Kids was a total disaster because I can't go into all of it, of course, because it is very extensive. I recommend you go watch the videos on Save the Kids. But the long story short, as it was summarized, basically there was this token that was being aimed for charity to help save the children. I think it was for every portion of the token that you buy, it goes towards a charity. And then what ended up happening is that people dumped it. And then what happened after that was people ended up, getting banned from, was it FaZe Clan? I think it was FaZe Clan, yeah. And of course, there's another, I think Rice was involved in that too. But regardless of all that, that was a very, very controversial coin. As you could see here, people were literally tricked into putting money into a coin for charity, and then they lost all their money out of it. So even though some people were, disbanded or whatever, or kicked out, people still got to, people still made money off it at the end of the day. So, yeah. And JMX launched XCAD network and used the rebranding of KSI to market their crypto. I think I already said that. I'm an idiot. Okay, so here we have some tweets looking at, well, what Mr. Beast and KSI have presented and invested in their product. So on screen, you're going to see us looking at this tweet, and it's going to be talking about, well, here, it talks about, oh, we have Mr. Beast at 61.2 million subscribers. Well, at the time, this was being promoted. And then so it's showing us here with the XCAD network showing, oh, well, guess what? We actually are, we are very much into this coin. We want you to buy it. We have big content creators on here. And so here we also have KSI he's showing, but really shilling his XCAD to his followers. He's talking about, oh, well, he's launching it, and then he's like, oh, I'm laughing at you guys. But unfortunately for you, I, KSI, a legit BT, am making way too much money off of crypto.
You know what? I got a glow in your motherfucking faces. Nah, hold up. You see that, motherfuckers? You see that? You see where that fucking line is? It's at $4 fucking, almost $4. You motherfuckers were like XCAD. It's a pump and dump. It's a scam. What the fuck is this? How you see this? Winning! Motherfucker, this is winning! Oh my god, I don't get the hype with this coin. It's just dumping all the time. What, it's at 0.49 now? Ah, it's a scam! I knew it! Fuck KSI, fuck everyone who likes XCAD. Oh, what's this? I'm getting wrecked! My pussy's getting wrecked! My pussy is wrecked.
Yeah, from the screen to the ring to the scam. That's a good one. Anyways, so it only gets worse from here. And then so in the next tweet, he actually has his, well, he talks about XCAD on the Sidemen podcast. And of course, Sidemen is this little group that he is associated with. So why don't we watch it together? Because what do you know? Influencer involved in another scam, guys. I could only imagine.
You've been given 500 grand in cash. What do you buy? Don't you're gonna say crypto, but I'm gonna say what you have to buy something with it. What are you buying with the 500 grand cash?
Bitcoin, Ethereum,
tax free,
something XCAD,
something tangible. I'm done. I'll back it.
XCAD,
something physical. Yeah, let's say something physical. It can't be like you can't. Yeah, it's got to be an object.
Right. So now we have KSI extensively talking about this coin. And so now if we look even more into it, this tweet by Zach XBT, so he is actually a very, very good investigator of these crypto scams. I highly recommend you guys check him out. So here in this tweet he says, KSI sold 850k of tokens hours after saying this to his large audience. All of a sudden, my XCAD bag is looking juicy again. You're just saying this because you are friends with him and it's a bad look with dumping XCAD like that. Post 1 about XCAD was made on the 27th of March 2022, and KSI began selling CAD on the 27th of March 2022. And so post 2 about XCAD was made on the my dates are really bad. I think this is on March 31st of 2022. And so KSI started selling more XCAD 14 minutes after the second post, and this is the wallet address, and this is blatant as it gets. So seeing this coin, it's not looking good for good old JJ over here. I don't know if my KSI impression needs some work. So now if we look at our our best friend, the Arkham Trace, here we have essentially Mr.Beast, moving stuff around again into the different wallets and looking at the transaction history again. So on the what does this say? The 31st of May 2021, he had all these. He had 230k XCAD, which is worth about $227,000. And then if we keep looking some more, he had 30k to his wallet, and so that goes to, or he sent 30k. And here it says the OX57, which is also shown up above. And then so Mr.Beast sends 100k of XCAD to wallet OX2854, which is also up there. And according to this, it actually says that he allegedly made a profit of $201,205.30. Sorry, we should probably include that. So according to this. And now looking a bit more into his transaction history, if you look at the graphs here, it says here he profited 86,000. Here it's and here, and we add it all up together, this shows that he actually made a total profit, allegedly, of $287,801. So as we can see here, quite extensive when it comes down to this. And let me preface this too by saying there's a lot of other projects that he was involved in, but these are the 3 biggest ones that really stuck out to me. And if I actually covered every single one of them, this video would be an hour, but I decided to cut it down. So yeah. So the only part about this document that's a little bit iffy to me is this part where it talks about insider trading. So I'm just gonna put it on screen here. And so essentially, they make the claim that he did do some insider trading with his crypto. Now, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to say that this is something where we need to see exactly like some evidence of this happening, like a group chat or something where it's like, oh, I knew this coin was gonna go down. We can speculate all we want, but when you go to speculation, you do kind of have to highlight that part of the video. So I just want to put that out there. Other than that, this was pretty well put together when it comes to the transaction history. Now, you may want to know, what do I think about all this? To be honest with you, Mr.Beast is kind of somebody who was never really on my radar to begin with, because I thought a lot of the hate that was directed towards him was overhated, and it really was at the time. I mean, he was building wells, building houses and stuff. Even if it was for a PR stunt, I'm like, okay, even if it's for PR, he's still building the houses, and most of you people aren't really doing anything, so why should I care? And then when I look at this stuff, and I look at this crypto stuff, I'm not even disappointed. It's more like I'm just in the camp where it's just like, man, so every person who's like this just ends up getting involved in this shady stuff. And when you see him working with somebody like Logan Paul and KSI, it just goes to show you that, yeah, he just does not care. And to me, once you reach a certain level of success, I'm just wondering, like, why you need to make that much money, and why you gotta scam your fans to do it. That's what I don't understand. Because to me, he can just make this money without scamming, and he'd be fine. But of course, in slew of all these allegations, it turns out that he really comes across to me as someone who got too big too fast. Like, what I mean by that is that essentially he got too big, which means he had to expand his empire. He's like, I have to go get more money, get more money, get more money, get more this and that. And even in an interview, he even said like he's somebody who's always going to like keep going, and I'm going to keep trying, I'm going to keep doing this until I get it right. Which is a very like a hustler. It's a very hustler's mentality. So keep that in mind of who we're dealing with. So him doing all this and trying to get as much money as possible, when you look in retrospect, some of those interviews were kind of telling. So, and even when he says stuff like, "Oh, I can get a YouTube to 100K in like a few months," I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. How would you do it? And so the way he says like, yeah, just being relentless, when it's just like, whoa, slow down, pal. But anyways, yeah. So if this is all true, I mean, there's not much else to say about it. The guy's a bona fide scammer. But with this, along with the other allegations, a lot of other allegations, it just goes to show you that, keeping your image is not easy out here. But if we just kept on the actual authentic path, then we wouldn't be here today. But alas, I believe you still should be investigated after all this. But anyways, that's enough out of me for today. So if you enjoyed this local look investigation, we could always do another one. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and follow my social on the description below. But that's it. See ya.